and Mike Williams came back to full health, it gave Justin Herbert a full complement of receivers to throw to.
On 3rd down and 8. Herbert stands in there, fires, he's got Keenan Allen. First down into Denver territory and out of bounds at the 42.
I love watching Keenan Allen play because he can come at you with a different pace. He can start off quick, he can ease into it.
First down and 10, a pitch to Eckler, running right. Nice move by Eckler, spinning his way to the 20-yard line.
It really is when you think about converting on 3rd down and then getting the run game going, because one of the question marks about the Chargers as they head into the postseason.
3rd down and 4. Herbert fires, he's got Allen again at the 5. Touchdown! Keenan Allen!
Sometimes you'll get beat physically, sometimes you'll make a mental error. That was a mental error. Nobody could decide who had Keenan Allen in coverage, and they were late getting to him. Justin Herbert saw it early.
And they've got Wilson in the shotgun. Now he'll go under center. Trying to do it himself. And we'll see where they spot it. We're so accustomed to seeing these days somebody pushing the quarterback from behind, but we did not get it this time. 11th play of the drive. And this is Judy breaking free down the sideline and knocked out of bounds inside the 10.
Right here, right in front of me. Jerry Judy, you smooth operator.
His 2nd carry of the season. 2nd and goal. A pitch to Murray. Latavius Murray with the touchdown. His 5th rushing score of the season.
You toss the ball, student body right. Murray looks, gets those shoulders squared, just like Terrell Davis used to do years ago, and straight into the end zone.
At their own 47-yard line. Herbert to the air on 1st down. A screen to Gerald Everett. And Everett cannot break free.
The best way to keep them focused on the next week's game is to play hard in this game, so their minds just aren't wandering as they're watching the game on the sideline.
3rd and 11, and Herbert has it to Mike Williams for a 1st down.
You know, I was talking to somebody about the Chargers team and what makes them dangerous in the playoffs. You have to have a superpower.
Herbert fires, caught, touchdown, Gerald Everett. Back-to-back games with a touchdown for Everett. And the Chargers regain the lead. Everett, that ties his career high, which he set last year in Seattle with Russell Wilson as his QB. 2nd down and 8. Edmonds. And Drew Tranquill makes a nice play. Wilson in trouble and goes down. You'll credit that sack to Joey Bosa.
Here's Bosa, and you're going to watch him come up like that. He is outside, and that little ghost move that he does where he swats the hands away, and he's just relentless because the tackle.
Kelly remains the running back. Play action. Herbert slings one to Keenan Allen. Another catch for Allen into Denver territory. Tackle made by McMillan.
With the off coverage, making that stick move, and then the separation to gain that confidence that the quarterback already had in you. You watch it on film, you go, hey, how can people defend it for the next coming weeks?
4 catches, 72 yards. And then they lost the football. Eckler fumbles. And the Broncos have it. Josie Jewell comes away with the football. And it's Denver football when we come back. They run it with Murray, and he breaks free. He's got the 1st down. Latavius Murray at the 20, and he's brought down there.
They were moving Murray over here for protection to go against Kyle Van Noy, but they didn't do that. They ran a sweep to the opposite side, 3 receivers running down the field, and it was really a great you're coming from somewhere else, you become the grumpy guy.
Wilson keeps it himself, trying to turn the corner, and he cannot. Khalil Mack makes the play. And a loss of 1. 3rd down and 5. Wilson throwing end zone, and it is deflected and incomplete. Derwin James got a hand on that one.
Game warm-ups, hit one from 54, and I just said show off.
So the Eckler fumble costs Los Angeles 3 points. No update yet on Mike Williams. As soon as we have one, we'll pass it along. Herbert in trouble, and down he goes.
Browning starts off with speed, going up against the left tackle, gets underneath, and then squeezes right in between the left guard and the left tackle. So he had 2 guys there to block him. Neither one of them could handle him.
Out of the hold of J.K. Scott, the kick is good. To go 30 of 32 on their field goals. The only interesting part of that is that none of those field goals have come from 50 yards in a first half in his 11th season now. Trying to add to the total here, Murray. And that'll help the stats up to the 40.
Denver, with that one timeout, can really work the ball over the middle and try and get in range for Brandon McManus.
Wilson is chased. Keeps the play alive. Throws deep down the field for Judy. He's got it! Inside the 5! A flag is down at the 32-yard line.
You've got Derwin James back there, and he's looking at Courtland Sutton. He's trying to figure out where Russell Wilson is throwing this, and it's right to Jerry Jeudy. I'm surprised Jerry Jeudy came from the far side of the field, tracking Russell Wilson, watching the court.
Chase Edmonds, the running back, on 1st and goal. Play fake. Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! Eric Tomlinson. His 2nd touchdown of the season.
You know, when you think about Russell Wilson, you think a guy who's so positive, a guy who's always talking.
And they run it with Edmonds. He's got the 1st down and more. Chase Edmonds into Chargers territory and tackled at the 42. 1st and 10 from the 44. It's a quick pass to Judy. Blockers ahead. Judy's got a 1st down. Jerry Jeudy has a new career high in receiving yards this season. 2nd down and 4. Wilson to Tyler Beatty, the rookie, in his first NFL game. Down the sideline, and he is in. Touchdown! How about that for your NFL debut?
One of the best things about it, Beatty running down that sideline. But you see there in the background, Andrew Beck and Saubert, who were his lead blockers. It was almost like a one-man screen with the tight ends being the guys out in front blocking for him.
A 6th-round pick by the Ravens.
Those competitors, do you leave them out there and try and get a lead before you want to take them out?
Joshua Palmer on the reception. If you're asking me, I'd say no. Seems to be doing okay. 2nd down and 11. Herbert will throw. And the pass is dropped by Kelly. There's a number of events here, coupled with the winter weather, as Wilson is throwing deep on 1st down. He's got Jeudy down there. Judy's got it. Jasir Taylor had the coverage, but Jeudy with a 50-yard pickup.
Jeudy just a straight go, 9 route. I'll throw it as far as I can, throw it to you. And it's a great position when you talk about when you're at practice, you go out to the...
By the time the Broncos start next season, but they thought it was worth that investment. And they continue to show they will spare no expense. That pass is picked off. Sebastian Joseph Day. Kyle Van Noy deflected it, and Joseph Day has his first NFL interception.
Joseph Day is sitting there like he's at the dinner table going, thank you very much, I'll take seconds right now.
And the Chargers take over at the Denver 46, and yes, Justin Herbert is still the LA quarterback, throwing on first down. He's got a man. That is Parham, who is spun down by McMillan. And nor should he be a willing runner in that situation in this game, as Dicker's field goal from 36 is good. Wilson throwing on first down over the middle, and wow, what a half for Jerry Jeudy. There he goes again. Jeudy to midfield. Wilson, pressure's coming, trying to escape, but he can't. And it's Kyle Van Noy for the 5th consecutive game picking up a sack. Herbert throwing. Keenan Allen with a first down. Eckler, the running back, on 2nd down and 8. Play action. A screen. Eckler, there's the record, single season, and he's still going. Eckler slipping tacklers up to the 40. Did I say tacklers for Eckler? Whatever it is, that's his 107th catch of the year, which is a new franchise record.
Earn it against his team, and it's apparent that the Chargers are trying to do that to stay sharp.
Herbert to Carter, breaks a tackle. DeAndre Carter at the 20, lost the football, and Kareem Jackson has it. Justin Simmons knocked it free, and Jackson recovers.
Last night.
Justin Simmons missed 5 games due to injury this year, but still tied for the NFL lead in interception.
2022 season and how we felt.
Wilson swings this one to Murray. Blockers ahead, and a nice pickup by Latavius Murray for 16. And a first down for Denver. That even though for some of the veterans it's, the last game of the year, some other players are playing in their first NFL game. Try to match their moment. Look at this! Swain! He's got it! Freddie Swain! Big play and a little shaken up after the catch. That goes for 52 yards.
Asante Samuel, who's right down there, is he looking in the backfield? He stops his feet, a little stutter and go, and he's blown right by him. And Russell Wilson, a lot of deep shots. This is what we expected. We were here the first game, home game, week 2 of the Russell Wilson era. We didn't see it then, but we're seeing it now. And Russell Wilson would say,
Wilson throwing. He's got a man. Touchdown. Courtland Sutton. His first touchdown since week 4 against Las Vegas.
Just getting lost in there. You see somebody slipping on the turf and raise my hand going, I'm wide open. Get me the ball, please.
2nd touchdown of the season for Courtland Sutton.
Get up and get dusted off.
Brandon Johnson back deep to receive the punt. And a fair catch called. And he lost it. And the Chargers have it. Alohi Gilman recovers.
Before the game, and he's talking about high hands. Look how low the hands are there. He wants those hands up above eye level to track that ball as it's coming down. So those are the fun. Not only a great cover guy, but a guy who's very, very willing in the run game.
2nd and goal. Daniel rolling right, throws. He's got Keenan Allen for a touchdown. His 2nd touchdown of the game. His touchdown total today.
Nice one. You give these guys on the field a chance to compete and go after it.
Daniel in trouble back of the end zone, and it is caught by Palmer. So we've got a 3-point game with 6:02 to go. A 3-point game on CBS. Second down and 10. And the Broncos lose it. Judy's able to fall on it.
Getting a lot of returns against him. He kicks them high, doesn't kick them real deep, but gets the coverage units to get under him.
Carter backtracking to his 12. And Carter down the sideline, and he's caught from behind. Nice play by Jalen Virgil. Otherwise, Carter still may have been going. His 5th punt today. Johnson will let it bounce. And it takes a Chargers roll. Will they get down there? They will. Downed inside the 5 at the 2. First down and 10. And they run it with Latavius Murray up the middle. He's got some room. Murray slips a tackle out across the 25. A 21-yard run for Latavius Murray. We'd like to welcome those of you who saw the Eagles wrap up the 1 seed in the NFC. Broncos and Chargers here. It's been a big day for Jerry Jeudy, who has his 6th catch, and he's over 150 yards receiving today. Big thing for Los Angeles after this game, the health of Mike Williams, who suffered a back injury. Hopefully he's okay. The Broncos win their 5th game of the year.